Paul George missed most of the game last night for the Celtics after leaving with a hamstring injury in the second quarter. LA still forced the game to go to double overtime, but Kawhi just couldn't keep up with Jason Tatum. Tatum dropped 39 points, led the Celtics to a nice 8-point win. By the way, Patrick Beverley also missed this game with a nagging groin issue. Clippers are hurt. We're now joined by Fox Sports radio host Doug Gottlieb. Doug, well, the Clippers' injuries keep them from getting past the Lakers in the Western Conference.
I don't believe they will. I don't believe the injuries are what's going to hold them back. I mean, that's the whole reason they're doing this load management stuff, right? I mean, Paul George, could he have gone more last night with the hamstring? Probably, but what's the point? We get the All-Star break, get the extra rest. Pat Beverley, could he have gone last night? Probably. It gives Landry Shamet a chance to play in a game, which I think we'd all concur, that was a playoff caliber game, right? Last two nights, we've had playoff caliber games. Denver, Lakers, playoff type atmosphere. Celtics, Clippers, playoff type atmosphere. And by the way, both games went to overtime. They were outstanding. That's just how close in proximity these teams are, especially on those home courts. But I don't think the injuries will be what holds them back. On the other hand, Paul George getting hurt is like a yearly thing, right? It's like the All-Star break. He's hurt again, and that's what they're guarding against. Their whole investment in this team, in Kawhi, in Paul George, in load management, is to protect against those injuries. I do think it works.
Wow.
And so for me, I think this will be and could possibly very well be what holds them from getting to where they want to go. The Lakers being another reason why. But focusing on just them as injuries, they started out the season without Paul George. It impacts and affects chemistry right out the gate.
Sure.
When you look at the load managing, I get it. We've seen Kawhi do this last year and insert himself again with a team that had a core group of guys who understood how to play together. Now you're adding so many moving parts. You now have acquired Marcus Morris, who you want to see how he fits in with what we do. And we know what he brings to the table, but we don't know how we can pull out what best fits to where we can have the most success. With Paul George being out, with Kawhi being in and out of the lineup, with Pat Beverley being in and out of the lineup, with Lou Williams not being in all the time, you want to have these guys together so that you know what you have as a coach moving forward. I know what button to push. I know what lineup works best. I know when to switch out the lineup and move to a certain guy. But if I don't have all these pieces at my disposal and I'm hoping I can go into a game every single week with this, then it puts added stress on me. It puts added stress on the others to fill roles. And then when those roles are then now taken off of their plate because now Paul George comes back. Yep. Kawhi comes into the game. He's going to play tonight. Marcus Morris is inserted. It changes the landscape of who you are and how you want to operate.
Look, Rob, it's a really smart point that he's making, right? It's hard to have a team where you don't know who's doing what and what their role is. On the other hand, knowing people on that Clippers bench, they've told me they planned for this. Like, we knew we were only going to get Kawhi for 60 games. We knew Paul George coming off of dual shoulder surgery, he's not going to play. And I think while that could be a weakness in terms of the cohesiveness and not knowing your role, I think it could also be a strength because there are going to be nights when Landry Shamet's going to have to help carry them, when Lou Williams
and then they're getting those opportunities.
And you need those. You're going to need one of those guys for one game in the playoffs when PG doesn't have it or Kawhi doesn't have it.
And here's the other part. All the stuff you're talking about, look at where they are. They're third. They're still winning. The team that's in front of them that everybody's saying is going to win the championship, they've beaten twice. They've beaten the Lakers without having all this together. So it's about trying to get this together as you enter the playoffs. And Greg, I get it. In a perfect world, you have everybody's healthy, you get to do all that and tinker and everything. But that's not how it works. It comes down to getting into the playoffs and then the guys who you've put together being ready to play and produce when that time
So, Doug,
comes.
let me ask you this. Last year, the Clippers, Rob loves to say they pushed the Warriors to 6. Lou Williams was their guy, unstoppable.
Yeah.
With Paul George and Kawhi there, Lou becomes kind of a third option. It was weird last night. In the huddle, Lou Williams is calling for the ball, telling him what to do. Kawhi Leonard over here just did nothing. I mean, he was blitzed. He would switch easily off the screens, almost like he wanted no part of Jason Tatum. I just wonder about this chemistry Greg's talking about. Is Lou Williams going to say, man, I'm a 15-year vet. I got to get mine. I need a title. Kawhi just got his championship. He's load managing. I don't know. Your thoughts on?
Well, look, Lou Williams is what we call thirsty, right? Like he wants the ball. He wants to get buckets. I think he was right to be upset. What should have been an and one call when he hit the three in the corner. That's old school continuation. No matter what Gordon Hayward was trying to do, that was a foul on the shot. I actually think that's the hardest part about this Clippers team is they do have a lot of guys. Like everybody wants the ball, whereas with the Lakers, everybody knows who's going to have the ball. There's a set pecking order. I do think it's interesting that we're giving the Lakers the pass in terms of injuries when, I mean, Anthony Davis has been hurt seemingly every year. Rajon Rondo, when he was with the Bulls, they're beating the Celtics, he gets hurt. And even LeBron has very rarely hurt, but of course, in his last NBA Finals, he hurt his thumb, or at least he told us his thumb was hurt
after
when
he lost.
when they lost in the playoffs.
He
had a full body. By the way,
Who was the second best player on that team? J.R. Smith. Stop.
But the point is this though. It's the composition of the teams are very different, right? With the Lakers, it's LeBron, and he's going to give the ball to Anthony Davis. You give the ball to whomever he sees fit. With the Clippers, it's one pork chop and a bunch of dogs fighting over that bone. And that's the way they work and that's the way they function. To tell you I know how it's going to play out, I do think it was interesting that they did kind of freeze Kawhi out. But we don't know if Kawhi wasn't feeling it, if Lou was.
Hey, 27 shots for Kawhi Leonard. He had 28 points. That's not efficient.
No, but look, it's a law of averages, right? You go throughout his career, he's an incredibly efficient player, efficient scorer. But
no question.
And he had a bad night.
And look, like not mentioned, Jason Tatum was the best player on the floor. You did say it coming in. He's only 21 years old. And you can give Danny Ainge all the grief you want, but the draft day trade, to trade down from 1 to 3 and get Jason Tatum, goes down as one of the all-timers. And I think the Celtics, we're dismissing them as finals contenders coming out of the East.
Do you hear that, guys? Yeah, keep going.
I hear.
No, I mean,
can they take down the Bucks?
I think they have a more diverse set of weapons than the Bucks do. The Bucks are completely dependent upon Giannis to get in the lane and create. And we take the Lakers game where Giannis stepped up and made 5 threes. Like, oh, he can shoot now. Like, no, he can't. Go and look at what he's done since. I still think that limits them. I think his ability to get foul calls in the playoffs is like James Harden. It limits them. Like, there's a reason that the Bucks have not taken that next step. And I think, playing around one guy who is not yet a refined shooter is a limiting factor, as opposed to the Celtics, who have talent, have multiple guys you can throw at Giannis. And I know Kemba missed coming down the stretch, but everyone I know thought that shot was going in regulation because he's Kemba Walker. This team has better chemistry. We all believe in Brad. At least I believe in Brad.
Did you pick the Celtics at the start of the season?
I thought they were going to be very, very good. I see no reason to think they can't come out of the East. I think those are the two teams, Celtics and Bucks, most likely to come out of the East. I don't think the Raptors are legit finals.
And Philly, no? You're not feeling Philly?
They're interesting. When they want to go.
When they want to go.
When they want to go. And like, look, there's a little of Shaq and Kobe there, where maybe they need a better maestro to get them to, you go, now I go, and they're struggling with space. But we've seen them flex their muscles, what they did to the Clippers the other night.
But when they go on the road and they have the same road record as the Knicks, that's telling, isn't it?
Yes, it's also telling of their immaturity off the floor. I think it's the one story that we don't know and we can only guess is that whatever they're doing off the floor, not getting themselves prepared to play, you can't be that good at home. You can't be that talented. Like
25-2 at home and terrible.
And I think Joel Embiid is the most talented dude in the NBA. Like, they don't make 7'1" dudes that can handle, shoot, post, defend the rim. Like, he does it all. I know we're all about the guards, okay, but this guy can do everything, a modern-day big guy. But you can't have the variances unless there's something going on in terms of diet, going out, being hangout guys. I still think Ben Simmons needs to let some fly. Don't be afraid to miss. Giannis missed for his first 3-4 years of shooting threes. They're the team that could go out in the first round, or they're the team that could go to the finals.
So I like the Boston Celtics. I like the way they've been constructed. Kemba Walker's clearly a better fit than Kyrie Irving because of the camaraderie that he provides and just his ability to play make and not want to take every single shot and play iso ball. For me, I like the Bucks. I like the Bucks, and you talk about Giannis not being able to step out and shoot, but he has so many shooters around him.
Yes.
To where they're going to open the lane. That is their plan. That is their strategy. That is their identity. Let Giannis do what he does. attack the rim and kick it to a 7-footer Brook Lopez, who's gonna take out whoever they're playing, their opponent shot blocker at the rim. Like in Chris Middleton, I don't think he gets enough credit. This is his second consecutive All-Star appearance now. Like, and he's been nothing short of a nice compliment to wherever he's been. He's a great shooter. He didn't get it going last year in the postseason. Get it. We live and we learn. Hopefully he grows from that. Giannis didn't do what he felt like he should have done in that Toronto series. You live and you learn, and you add to what that is that you've learned. And with Giannis, I think his mentality alone of thinking and belief of I'm the reigning guy in this East. So you have to come by me. You have to get by me. I don't think he's afraid of anyone in the East or in the West for that matter. And I think it's going to be a challenge for teams to step up that level of mentality, of way of thinking, that they can just walk into Milwaukee, who's a home team and away team.
And the pocket protectors are all saying that statistically,
Analytically,
they're the greatest right now, putting together the greatest season, the Bucks, of anybody. Are you buying that? Do you see that?
No, but that's okay. I mean, like, listen, great, who gets the number 1 seed in the East has never been a determinant in who actually plays in the final.
Well, LeBron was there.
I think no, but he didn't always get the number 1.
He did.
Yeah, but everybody knew he was coming at it.
But also the last 2 years, the last 2 champions were in the number 1 seed. It doesn't mean anything.
And we can dismiss the Sixers all we want. I mean, the Kawhi shot hit the front rim twice, the back rim twice. The back. Now it would have gone to overtime as a tie game, but that's how close those 2 teams are. Look, Chris Middleton being an all-star ahead of Brad Beal's a joke, right? I love the Chris Middleton
Doesn't winning
story.
matter to you, Doug?